There's a plant you probably already have, sitting quietly by a window, tucked near the sink, or set on your patio because someone once told you it was good for energy. Aloe vera, easy to care for, symbol of healing. But here's what most people don't know: in the wrong spot, it does nothing. In the right spot, it shifts everything, not overnight, not like magic, but in a way that's real, steady, and quietly transformative. That's because aloe doesn't just sit there. It listens, it responds to where it's placed and what it's surrounded by. It either holds the energy your home needs or lets it slip through. And when it's misplaced, what's at risk isn't luck, it's alignment. We're not talking about superstition or chasing fast money. We're talking about how subtle choices in your space affect what stays and what leaves. Energy, clarity, even financial momentum. In homes where money seems to come and go, where progress feels just out of reach, aloe can be more than a plant. It becomes a gentle stabilizer, a kind of quiet anchor for prosperity, but only if you know where to place it. In this video, we're going to explore the 3 most strategic places to plant or place aloe vera in your home. These aren't guesses or trends. They're grounded, intentional placements based on how energy moves and how you can make your space feel more supportive, more rooted, and more in flow with what you're trying to build. Because sometimes the difference between scattered effort and lasting wealth isn't what you're doing, it's how your home is holding you while you do it. And aloe vera might be the first whisper that tells you it's time to realign. Place 1, by the front door when money visits but doesn't stay. Think about the very first moment you step into your home. Before your bag hits the hook or your keys drop into the bowl, something else happens, something quieter. Your nervous system takes a reading. Your body decides without asking whether this is a space to exhale or brace. That same silent reading happens to energy, especially the kind of energy we associate with progress, peace, and prosperity. In Feng Shui, the front door is called the mouth of Kai. Not because it swallows luck whole, but because it determines what kind of energy gets to enter your life. If your entrance feels exposed, chaotic, or unwelcoming, the energy doesn't pause, it doesn't settle. It either rushes in too fast or turns right around and leaves. That's how homes start to feel, empty even when they are full. Most people don't think about their front door this way. They focus on the larks, the mat, maybe a wreath for the season. But what many overlook is how energy behaves when it crosses that threshold. If your door faces a fast-moving road, a long hallway, an elevator, or another structure's sharp angles, energy arrives like a wave with no shoreline, no buffer. It hits and moves on. And while that might not sound like a big deal, over time it creates a pattern: money that doesn't stay, opportunities that evaporate, a sense of restlessness that you can't name but can feel every time you walk through that door. This is where aloe vera becomes more than a plant. It becomes a tool, not because it's magical, but because it works like a soft gatekeeper. When placed near your front entrance, aloe doesn't block energy. It slows it down, it gives it shape. It tells the energy, pause here, stay a moment, enter with calm. It turns your threshold into a transition, not just a passage. And that subtle difference changes how your home receives the world and how the world responds in return. You don't need a huge pot, you don't need perfect sunlight, but you do need intention. Aloe vera should be placed within visual range of your front door, ideally to the side, not in the path of opening or closing. If you live in an apartment, a small pot near the entryway, on a shoe bench, a console table, or even hung from a wall bracket can serve this function. If you're in a house, consider placing it on the porch, slightly to the right of the door if you're looking out. These small decisions signal to the space and to yourself that energy here is received, not rushed. But here's what matters even more than the placement: your awareness. When you water that aloe, when you glance at it while locking the door, you're reinforcing a quiet message. I choose what comes into my life. I filter what overwhelms. I slow down what tries to push through too fast. And if you've ever felt like life's moving too fast, that you're always catching up but never quite arriving, that's not just a time problem, that's an energy pattern. Your home might be amplifying the very momentum you're trying to calm. Of course, aloe won't solve everything. It won't erase debt or fix your career overnight, but what it does gently, consistently, is hold the edge of your threshold in a way that supports steadiness. It's like adding punctuation to a run-on sentence. It makes the story of your space easier to read, easier to follow, and when the story becomes clearer, your decisions follow suit. In many Western homes, the entryway is treated like a pass-through zone, a place to dump shoes, hang coats, or drop Amazon boxes. But in energetic terms, it's the handshake between your inner world and everything beyond it. That moment deserves protection, not a barricade, but a pause. Aloe is a symbol of that pause, quiet, present, uncomplicated, and that's why it's powerful. If you've placed aloe elsewhere in your home, that's okay. But if you've never placed one near the front door and you felt like good things don't seem to stick, or like your days begin in a rush you can't quite explain, try it, not for superstition, but as a gesture. A quiet shift that says, this home knows how to receive, this home lets in what serves and slows what overwhelms. Because sometimes wealth doesn't need a wide-open door, it needs an invitation, and aloe might be the first thing that makes it feel welcome to stay. Place 2, on your work desk when your mind is tired and the money feels scattered. There's a reason your desk feels heavy even when it's clean. It's not just the to-do lists or the open browser tabs. It's not just the unpaid bills or the blinking email notifications. It's the energy that piles up quietly, invisibly, every time you sit down with a mind already tired and a heart already scattered. And when that's your starting point day after day, what follows isn't flow, it's fragmentation. You work, but nothing moves forward. You focus, but not for long, and the money, it feels just as blurry, unstable, inconsistent, like something you chase but never catch. This isn't about motivation, this is about space. Because the environment where you think, decide, and build matters more than you've been told. A clutter-free desk isn't enough if the energy around it is chaotic. A beautiful office doesn't guarantee progress if the atmosphere is overstimulated. What you need isn't more productivity tools. It's an energetic stabilizer, something quiet, alive, grounding. That's where aloe vera comes in, not as decoration but as support. When placed intentionally on your work desk, especially in the southeast corner, the traditional wealth direction in Feng Shui, aloe vera acts as more than a plant. It becomes a silent ally. It absorbs electromagnetic residue from screens and devices. It calms overstimulation. It holds space for your thoughts to settle instead of scatter. In a world that pushes you to multitask, aloe invites you to return to focus, to clarity, to intention. Think of it like this: your desk is not just where you work, it's where your future is shaped. The decisions you make here, what to say yes to, what to delay, where to spend, how to invest, these are not small things. They carry the weight of your next chapter. And if the energy around that decision-making space is fragmented, so are your results. Aloe won't do the thinking for you, but it will help quiet the background noise so your own wisdom can come through. And here's something subtle but important. Aloe is slow growing. It doesn't rush. It doesn't demand. It simply adjusts itself to the environment, and in doing so, it reminds you to do the same. That's part of its power. When you see it steady beside you, holding its form without force, you're reminded to hold your energy the same way, to be steady in your ambition, to breathe before reacting, to prioritize not just what makes money, but what feels aligned with your real values. If you work from home, this becomes even more essential. The lines between life and work blur fast. One room holds your deadlines and your dinner plans. The same screen holds client emails and family photos. Without boundaries, everything leaks into everything. And your energy, it doesn't know where to land. Placing aloe on your desk is a way of marking that boundary, not with walls, but with intention. It says, this is where I focus. This is where I call in grounded, thoughtful prosperity. It doesn't have to be big, a small aloe in a neutral pot, no bright colors, no symbols, just presence. If your desk doesn't get natural light, rotate your aloe weekly or place it near a window when you're not working. The care you offer it becomes part of your own recalibration. When you water it, you pause. When you wipe its leaves, you notice. These micro moments of care subtly shift your posture from frantic to focused. And over time, that changes how your days unfold. This isn't about superstition or pretending a plant will fix your finances. It's about designing your environment to match the energy of the life you want to build. And for most people, that life is not chaotic or rushed. It's steady, resourced, clear. Aloe helps you hold that tone, not because it's powerful, but because it helps you remember that you are when your space supports you. So if your work feels inconsistent, if your income feels tied to exhaustion, if your creativity feels dulled and your goals out of reach, don't just look at your calendar, look at your desk. Look at what surrounds the place where you make choices that shape your financial future. Is it holding you or is it depleting you? Aloe can't give you ambition, but it can help your ambition land. It can help your ideas root. It can help your focus stay longer than the next notification. And in a world of noise, that quiet support is not just soothing, it's strategic. Because the mind that builds wealth needs a place to rest between decisions, a place where clarity isn't chased, it's allowed. Place 3, on your balcony where energy leaves before it ever reaches you. Have you ever felt like something slips away before it even has a chance to reach you? Like a thought lost mid-sentence or a feeling you can't quite hold on to? That's what ungrounded energy feels like. And more often than we realize, it's not about what we're doing, it's about what our environment is letting go of too soon, especially in the parts of our homes that open outward like the balcony. Balconies are the threshold between what's inside and everything the outside world brings. But when they're unbalanced, they become energy leaks, quiet ones, constant ones, the kind that make you feel like you're always catching up, like peace and progress are just a step away but never settle in. For many people living in apartments or homes with balconies, these spaces are underused or overcrowded. They're where we store things we don't want to deal with. Old chairs, broken parts, wind chimes that never sound right, or worse, nothing at all. Just an open space where wind rushes in, sound bounces around, and energy flows too fast to land. And what happens when energy flows too fast? It doesn't nourish, it escapes. And when the energy of your home is constantly rushing outward, your efforts feel the same, temporary, fleeting, without root. This is why the balcony, while often overlooked, is one of the most important spaces to anchor. And one of the most effective tools for anchoring that space is aloe vera. Not because it's trendy or symbolic, but because of how it behaves. Aloe is sturdy, grounded, and low to the soil. It doesn't chase the sun. It absorbs what it's given, stores it, and grows in calm, steady increments. When placed on a balcony, especially one exposed to heavy wind, noise, or strong sunlight, aloe acts like a weight. Not a heavy burden, but a balancing presence. It tells the space you don't have to scatter, you can hold, you can soften, you can stay. Choose 1 or 2 aloe plants, keep the parts stable, earthy, and unobtrusive. Place them at the outermost corners of the balcony as if you're gently placing stones at the edge of a stream. You're not blocking the flow, you're giving it shape, and that shape makes all the difference. Over time, you'll feel it, not in dramatic ways, but in subtle ones. Mornings feel less rushed. The air holds just a little longer before moving on. The space begins to feel like it belongs to you, not just to the outside world. This is especially powerful if your balcony faces a busy street, a loud parking lot, or a direction that brings in harsh light or wind. Aloe doesn't fight the environment, it responds to it. And that's what you're learning to do too, to respond, not react, to anchor, not chase. When aloe is placed with intention, your balcony stops being a blind spot and becomes a buffer, a quiet guardian at the edge of your home's energy. You might wonder, can something this small really shift how your home feels? The answer is yes, not because the plant is magical, but because your awareness is. Every time you care for that plant, every time you adjust its position, water it, clean its leaves, you're practicing the art of stewardship. You're reminding yourself that your energy matters, that what stays and what leaves your space should be filtered, considered, held gently before being released. And maybe that's what you've needed more than anything, not more effort, not more ideas, but a better container. A space that stops energy from running out the back door before it ever gets a chance to nourish you. That's what aloe does on your balcony. It says, there's enough time, there's enough space. Nothing good has to be rushed through. If your life has felt like a cycle of effort without reward, if money comes in but slips away, if you wake up tired even after a full night's sleep, your space may be too open in the wrong places, too loose where it needs to hold, too quick where it needs to breathe. And while you can't change the layout of your building or the noise of the street, you can change how your space meets that world. Aloe helps you meet it with steadiness. In the end, the balcony isn't just an outdoor space, it's a message to the world, to yourself, to your future. And the message aloe sends when placed with calm intention is simple. This home knows how to hold on to what matters. This home doesn't just welcome blessings, it knows how to keep them. Aloe misplaced where this plant doesn't belong. There's a quiet mistake many people make when bringing aloe into their home. It doesn't come from carelessness. It often comes from excitement, a desire to bring in something healing, natural, alive. But just like a well-meaning word spoken at the wrong time, even something good can lose its power if it's not placed with intention. Aloe is a stabilizer, a balancer. It grounds the energy around it. And while that sounds like something we'd want everywhere, the truth is not every space in your home needs grounding. Some places need liveliness. movement, expression, and placing aloe there doesn't support the space, it dulls it. Let's take the living room. It's the heart of most American homes, the place for conversation, music, movie nights, visits from friends and family. It's meant to breathe, to shift, to respond. When aloe sits in this kind of space, especially in a central or open location, it can act like a quiet weight. Not heavy enough to notice right away, but just enough to make the room feel quieter than it should. Conversations become shorter, movement slows down, the energy that should circulate gently starts to flatten. And that's the danger of misplacing a plant that holds energy too well. It's not dramatic, it's not obvious, it's slow, subtle. You might start feeling more tired in that room, or less inclined to host, or even a vague sense of disconnection, as if the room's warmth has dimmed a little, but you can't quite explain why. That's not your imagination, that's an imbalance. This is especially important in homes where the living room shares space with other areas, like open concept layouts where the kitchen, dining area, and living space flow into one another. These spaces thrive on movement. They need energy to move, to loop, to interact. Aloe, when placed here, can interrupt that loop. It absorbs, it grounds, it settles, and sometimes that's the opposite of what the space is asking for. It's also important to avoid placing aloe near places of emotional release, like near your television if it's used heavily for news or intense content. Aloe doesn't filter emotion, it holds vibration, so if it's absorbing stress, fear, or overstimulation, it becomes saturated. And the more that energy builds around it, the more the plant struggles. You'll see it in the leaves, yellowing, sagging, looking tired despite being watered. That's not poor sunlight or neglect. That's environmental overload. The plant is trying to ground something it was never meant to carry. Another common mistake is placing aloe too close to the center of the home, especially in symbolic or spiritual zones. While aloe brings calm, it doesn't amplify clarity. It contains, in places where clarity is needed, like meditation corners, prayer spaces, or artistic studios, it can actually suppress intuitive flow. You might notice a creative block, a lack of inspiration, a flatness in emotional or spiritual practices. That's not your fault. That's your space being asked to ground when it was meant to rise. So where shouldn't aloe go? Avoid the middle of social zones, highly emotional media areas, and spaces of personal expression or spiritual expansion. And avoid pairing it with too many other grounding elements, heavy dark furniture, dense fabrics, or already quiet rooms. Balance is always the goal. If a room is already still, aloe may tip it too far into stagnation. The good news, these imbalances are easy to shift. If you've placed aloe in the wrong spot, your home will let you know, not loudly, but through discomfort, flatness, emotional heaviness, or energetic disinterest. The room will stop drawing you in. You'll walk past instead of settling down. You'll feel like you should relax but never quite do. That's the space asking for its energy back. And when you move the aloe to where it can truly serve, near the entrance, on the desk, by the balcony, you'll feel the difference almost immediately. This isn't about being exact or perfect. It's about listening, about watching how your home feels and flows. Aloe doesn't punish misplaced intention, it simply reflects it. And when you learn to read that reflection, you start working with your home, not against it. So before placing aloe in any room, ask yourself, does this space need stillness? Or does it need breath? Does it need support or expression? Aloe is a beautiful plant, but it's not neutral. It shifts the tone of a room, and in the wrong place, even a healer can become a silencer. Your home is already speaking. The way light lands on the floor, the way people linger or don't, the way your energy rises or dips in each corner. Aloe should amplify the balance, not mute the warmth, because the goal isn't to ground everything. The goal is to let what matters move freely and to hold what needs to stay. So maybe aloe vera isn't just a plant after all. Maybe it's a mirror, quietly showing us how our homes hold us, how our energy leaks or lingers, and how simple shifts can open space for something deeper to grow. We placed it by the door to soften the world as it enters. We set it on the desk to hold focus when life pulls in too many directions. We gave it to the balcony to steady what tries to rush out, and we learned where not to place it, because even the right thing in the wrong place can slowly dull the beauty of a room's spirit. These choices aren't about being perfect, they're about being aware, and in a world that moves so quickly, awareness is a kind of wealth all its own. The goal isn't to feng shui every inch of your home or chase prosperity like it's just another task to check off. The goal is to listen to your space, to your pace, to your own breath when the day begins and when it ends. Because the truth is, your home already holds power. You've just been too busy to hear what it's been trying to say. Aloe simply helps turn down the noise, helps you remember that healing doesn't have to be loud, that wealth doesn't always arrive with a bang. It can arrive softly, slowly, and choose to stay when the space is ready. Thank you for spending this time with me. I know your time, your energy, your attention, they are sacred. I hope today gave you something simple and grounding to carry forward. And if all you do this week is place one aloe plant with just a little more intention than before, that's already a beautiful start. May your space feel lighter, may your energy feel clearer, and may what you truly need find you and stay.